Welcome, adventurers, to a journey that will test your spirit and reward you with sights that truly defy imagination. Today, we're not just hiking. We're ascending into the heart of Indonesia's volcanic power. This land is forged by fire, and we're about to get up close with some of the world's most thrilling volcano hikes. From otherworldly sunrises to the raw beauty of active craters, this is more than a travel video. It's an invitation to push your boundaries. Lace up your boots, take a deep breath, and prepare for an adventure that will stay with you long after the screen goes dark. Our first challenge awaits at the break of dawn. Our first ascent begins in darkness, heading for Mount Bromo, a place that feels more lunar than earthly. The journey starts with a rumbling jeep ride across the sea of sand, anticipation building with every bump. As we climb, the air thins and a chill sets in, testing your resolve. But then you look up. The stars are a brilliant canopy, untouched by city lights. We reach the viewpoint as the first light bleeds across the horizon, purple, then orange, pink, and gold. Below, clouds form a thick white blanket, pierced by the peaks of Bromo and the smoking Mount Semeru. Standing above the clouds, you feel both small and infinitely connected to the universe. The sun crests the horizon, bathing the Tengger caldera in golden light. Bromo sits at the heart, a plume of smoke rising from its crater, a celestial event, and you have a front row seat. But the adventure continues. We descend into the sea of sand, trekking to Bromo's crater edge. The ground crunches under your boots, the landscape immense and otherworldly. The final push is a steep staircase, the smell of sulfur growing stronger with each step. Your legs burn, but your spirit soars as the volcano's low roar vibrates through you. At the top, you peer into the vast smoking cauldron, beautiful and intimidating. The sheer force of nature is humbling. Looking back, you see the path you've taken and the sunrise viewpoint, putting the journey in perspective. You've witnessed one of the world's most spectacular sunrises, and walked into the heart of that view. The trek back down is filled with accomplishment, the sun now illuminating the volcanic desert. You pass Tenggeri's people on horseback, adding to the magic. Bromo is not just a geological wonder, it's a sacred place, and you feel that reverence. It's the perfect introduction to Indonesia's volcanoes, an incredible reward for a modest effort. The greatest beauty is often found when you step out of your comfort zone, even for a few hours before dawn. This is just the beginning. Now we escalate the challenge. Mount Rinjani is the main event. This is a multi-day expedition that will push your limits. The journey to Indonesia's second highest volcano is demanding, but the reward is profound. Day 1 is a relentless uphill battle, starting in lush rainforest, the air thick with humidity. The path is steep, separating the determined from the doubtful. Your muscles scream, your lungs burn, and sweat pours. But this is where the mental game begins. As you gain altitude, the jungle gives way to open grasslands and weathered forests. The air cools, and glimpses of the view ahead fuel your determination. Reaching the crater rim camp is pure euphoria. Exhausted but rewarded with the sight of Segara Anak, a brilliant blue crater lake with a new volcano rising from its center. Watching sunset from the rim is a spiritual experience, the sky exploding with color. Camaraderie forms among trekkers, united by struggle and awe. The summit push begins at 2 a.m., the hardest part. It's freezing, pitch black, and the path is loose volcanic scree. For every 2 steps forward you slide 1 back, a battle of pure grit. Your body begs to stop, but your spirit pushes on. In the darkness, you confront your limits, digging deep for strength you never knew you had. Just as you feel you can't go on, the sky lightens and the summit appears. You scramble up the final ridge, standing at 3,726 meters above sea level. The sunrise is your reward. Above the clouds, Lombok stretches below, the Gili Islands and Bali's Mount Agung in the distance. The sun's rays turn the crater lake into a sparkling jewel. You've earned this view, every painful step. The descent is challenging, but your heart is light. A swim in the crater lake's hot springs soothes weary muscles. Rinjani is more than a hike. It's a transformative experience, stripping you down and building you back up. The greatest rewards are the ones you fight for. Our next adventure takes us to Mount Ijen in East Java, home to electric blue fire and the world's largest acidic crater lake. This isn't just a hike, it's a descent into a scene straight out of science fiction. The trek begins at night, aiming to reach the crater floor before sunrise. The path is dusty and crowded with tourists and tough sulfur miners. Their presence is a humbling reminder of the harsh realities here. As you near the rim, the acrid smell of sulfur fills your nostrils. Gas masks are essential. The stinging gas adds a raw, visceral element to the experience. From the rim you descend a rocky, narrow path into the crater, guided by headlamp. Then you see it, flickering electric blue flames, the combustion of sulfuric gases. The sight is mesmerizing, hypnotic, and utterly surreal. Watching the blue flames lick the rocks is unforgettable, a secret light show put on by the planet itself. Alongside, miners chip away at yellow sulfur, carrying impossibly heavy loads up the mountain. Their strength and endurance are humbling. As dawn approaches, the blue flames fade, revealing a 1-kilometer-wide crater lake of stunning turquoise. It's the largest highly acidic lake in the world, beautiful but deadly. Standing on its shore, surrounded by steam and sulfur-stained rocks, is an assault on the senses. The climb out in daylight reveals the rugged path and deepens your respect for the miners. From the rim, the panoramic view of the turquoise lake is breathtaking. You've witnessed a secret fire, stood beside a toxic lake, and seen human resilience in its most extreme form. Ijen is not just a physical challenge, it's an emotional and sensory one, leaving you with images burned into your memory. Our journey now takes us to Bali's spiritual heart, Mount Agung, the island's most sacred and imposing peak. To climb Agung is to embark on a pilgrimage, connecting you to the soul of Bali. This is a tough, demanding climb, but the rewards are profound. The trek begins in cool, dense forest, guided by headlamp and the sounds of the night. The path is rough, requiring hands and feet to scramble over rocks and roots. As you climb higher, the terrain becomes barren and volcanic, the wind picking up and temperatures dropping. The final stretch is a steep scramble over loose rock, exposed and challenging. With every meter, the view behind you becomes more spectacular. The lights of Bali twinkle below. Local guides make offerings before the final ascent, deepening the spiritual significance. Reaching the summit at sunrise is pure triumph, the entire island laid out at your feet. The 360-degree view is breathtaking. To the east, Mount Rinjani rises above the clouds. The crater is vast and deep, a reminder of the volcano's immense power. The sense of accomplishment is overwhelming. Watching the sunrise from this sacred vantage point is deeply moving. The sky transforms, the first rays illuminating Bali's coastline and villages. You see Agung's shadow stretching over the ocean, a moment of profound peace and connection. The descent is long and hard, but you return with a new perspective. You've stood on Bali's most sacred ground and witnessed its beauty from above. Climbing Agung is not for the faint of heart, but the spiritual and emotional reward is permanent. For our final ascent, we face Indonesia's most active volcano, Mount Merapi, the Mountain of Fire. Merapi is a living presence, a geological powerhouse that demands respect. Its frequent eruptions mean conditions change rapidly. An experienced guide is essential. The trek begins in darkness, aiming for a sunrise summit. The initial climb passes through lush landscapes and farmlands, a stark contrast to the barren power above. The path is steep and relentless, testing your legs and lungs. Higher up, vegetation disappears, replaced by a desolate landscape of volcanic rock and ash, the Pasar Bubra, or destroyed market. Here, you feel the mountain's power, often seeing the lava domes glow and hearing rocks tumble. The final push is a steep scramble over loose scree, the smell of sulfur strong, steam venting from cracks. You're acutely aware you're climbing a living, breathing entity. Reaching the summit is heart-pounding. You stand on the edge of a world constantly reshaped by fire. The view into the active crater is both terrifying and mesmerizing. As the sun rises, central Java is revealed, a chain of volcanoes rising from morning mist. The first light hitting the smoking crater creates a scene of dramatic beauty. Looking down, you see the scars of past eruptions etched into the landscape. The descent reveals the raw beauty of the volcanic terrain. Hiking Merapi is the ultimate thrill, a raw encounter with the Earth's power. It's an unforgettable finale to our volcano tour, leaving you in awe of the planet we call home. Our journey through the land of fire and smoke comes to an end. We've stood above the clouds at Bromo, conquered Rinjani, witnessed Ijen's blue fire, reached Agung's summit, and danced with Merapi. Each mountain offered a unique challenge and a profound lesson. Thank you for joining this adventure and sharing in the awe. If you're inspired to explore and challenge yourself, my mission is complete. Please consider subscribing to support more stories of adventure and discovery. The world is full of mountains waiting to be climbed. Keep that fire in your belly. Whatever your next adventure, plan well, be prepared, and stay safe. The greatest adventure is life itself. Live it to the fullest. Until next time, keep exploring.